to another week of National Action Network Live. And in the words of our great late attorney Michael Hardy, when you hear the cry, no justice, no peace, you know you are where the action is. My name is Nancy Darlene Crawford, and I am honored to be your host for this morning's broadcast. Today, we will hear reports on what NAN is doing across the country and are joined by various leaders of our community and in the nation, bringing to you how you can get involved and get into the action with NAN now. Our keynote speaker today is none other than our president and founder, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. We welcome all of you who have joined us here today live at the House of Justice Auditorium, located at 106 West 145th Street in the corner of Lenox Avenue in the village of Harlem. Welcome to those also watching us via live stream on our social media platforms and our website at www.nationalactionnetwork.net. During the Saturday Action Rally, we have a segment here called What's on Your Mind. We invite you to email us at nanwhatsonyourmind@gmail.com or call us live at 877-626-4651 and share with us a brief account of what issues are concerning you most that you want the broader community to be aware of. We invite you to call us, email us, what's on your mind today. The NAN Youth Huddle will not meet on Monday, September 1st due to the Labor Day holiday. The Youth Huddle experience will resume on Monday, September 8th at the House of Justice Auditorium. Spread the word with our youngest and brightest dreamers of today and leaders of tomorrow. For more information on the Youth Huddle experience, you can call us at 877-626-4651 or email nanyouthhuddle@gmail.com. NAN Youth Huddle and College Harlem Chapter invite you to our 4th annual Huddle Up Harlem Back to School giveaway and community resource fair. Join us at the National Action Network House of Justice on Saturday, September 6th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. for our Huddle Up Harlem Back to School giveaway and community resource fair. Bring your young people for an afternoon of resources, supplies, and community support as we prepare to send our students back to school ready and equipped for success. We are calling on the community to be a part of this effort. If you would like to donate, volunteer, or host a resource table, please call 1-877-626-4651 or email nanyouthhuddle@gmail.com. School supply donations can be dropped off at the House of Justice Monday through Saturday during business hours. Supplies and monetary donations will be accepted through Thursday, September 4th. Let's come together to support our children and make sure Harlem is ready for the school year ahead. Thank you to those who have already donated. Tune in to MSNBC's Politics Nation with Al Sharpton every Saturday and Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, live on MSNBC. Here are some announcements to keep you in the know for Saturday, August 30th. On Thursday, August 28th, thousands gathered downtown as Reverend Sharpton and National Action Network led the largest demonstration in this second Trump term, calling for protection of our diversity, equity, and inclusion, and holding corporate America accountable. People from all over the country convened in the Financial District and were joined by Martin Luther King III, Andrea Waters King, Zoran Mamdani, attorney Ben Crump, AFT President Randy Weingarten, and a slew of leaders, activists, educators, students, and organizers. The message was loud and clear. We are here to remind corporate America of the power of Black Americans and our dollars. The March on Wall Street kicked off at Foley Square, just a few yards from the African Burial Ground, the oldest and largest known burial ground in North America for both free and enslaved Africans. From there, demonstrators marched down Broadway, including passing the Charging Bull sculpture, which embodies the culture of Wall Street for nearly 40 years. The protest ended with a rally at Whitehall Street as several speakers addressed the crowd. From where our ancestors' bones still rest to the towers of wealth built off their backs, we rallied right in the middle of the country's financial headquarters. As the Trump administration dismantles DEI within the federal government and puts even more pressure on universities and companies to do the same, we must push back. NAN's March on Wall Street coincided with the anniversary of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s historic March on Washington. Martin Luther King III recounted how 62 years after his father delivered his vision for the nation, we are in this unfortunate position where all of that progress is being scaled back and reversed. Lower Manhattan bears historic significance in the fight for justice and economic empowerment. Before becoming home to the banking industry, portions of Wall Street and the surrounding area served as a slave market under the Dutch and then British. New York City banking houses would go on to serve southern plantations that profited heavily from slave labor. In the modern era, it remains nearly impossible for many Black executives to garner C-suite jobs as access capital to start businesses. Corporations promised to finally address this generational disparity after protests following the 2020 murder of George Floyd, pledging billions for DEI programs. Now, many of those same companies have turned their backs on us. At the March on Wall Street, demonstrations represented a broad spectrum of labor groups, clergy, seniors, college students, and the diversity that is in America. They came from the nation's capital, Florida, Tennessee, California, Kentucky, and from all over to loudly proclaim, if you do not respect us, we won't support you. And we proudly stand on the power of our money and our contributions to society. Appearances on MSNBC. Reverend Sharpton stopped by Morning Joe on MSNBC this week, as he so often does, to discuss a slew of topics and news of the day. From crime to elections to attacks on the poor, all the way to Cracker Barrel fiasco, he covered virtually everything with Joe, Micah, and the rest of the crew. He reminded viewers that you cannot attack the poor, immigrants, and the vulnerable, and then turn around and claim the tradition of Jesus Christ. Reverend Sharpton discussed how we can balance people's need to feel safe and secure without having National Guard troops patrolling American streets. He emphasized the fact that safety and accountability go hand in hand. Real investment in mental health and social services, along with community-based policing, must be the answer. Reverend Sharpton also touched on the Democrats' win in Iowa and how the way they keep winning is to just let the extremists be foolish and don't be as foolish as the other side, but rather show them to be immature and they will defeat themselves. Sermon at Howard University. Last Sunday, Reverend Sharpton delivered a powerful sermon at Howard University's historic Rankin Memorial Chapter on fighting giants and how we must support people like Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, who are standing up to Trump. Both former and current Howard University students and members of the community packed the chapel to hear his stirring words. Reverend Sharpton touched on the importance of federal programs designed to uplift communities and how so much is being destroyed in this moment. He shared his own personal experience having to grow up relying on some federal assistance after his father left the family. He also discussed the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and why he is leading a march on Wall Street to hold corporate America accountable. Reverend Sharpton spoke directly to current students about having an education is important, but it doesn't mean much if you don't fight for what is right. I don't care what degree you got. If you don't have a degree of courage, you won't get to use the degree you got. Quote, Reverend Sharpton. National Clergy Call. Reverend Sharpton, Reverend Dr. W. Franklin Richardson, Chairman of NAN's board, and National Action Network convened yet another urgent National Clergy Call this week. The mobilization call was organized ahead of our March on Wall Street and focused on all of the civil rights gains that are now under threat. Reverend Sharpton called on faith leaders nationwide to stand with us in the fight for economic justice, accountability, and equality. For nearly 2 years now, NAN has been leading the fight to protect and preserve diversity, equity, and inclusion. And in this week's clergy call, focus on the need for people of faith to continue fighting for what is right, just as Dr. King did decades ago. Reverend Sharpton stressed the importance of not giving up, but finding even more conviction during these challenging times. Welcome to all of you who have tuned in and joined us also via live stream at www.nationalactionnetwork.net and also live on Facebook. If this is your first time joining us or if you are not a member of NAN, we welcome you to NAN and invite you to join us and get into the action today. For more information and to join, you may visit our website at www.nationalactionnetwork.net. Call 877-626-4651 or text the word NAN to 59769. Welcome. Let us now welcome NAN Change Choir soloist Tisha Hunter under the direction of our guest musical director, Bravon Neal.
Above the head, and His glory above the nation. The Lord is high above the head, and His glory above the nation. Oh, give God the highest praise, exalt His name always.
Alicia Hunter, under the direction of our guest musical director, Bravon Neal. Well, it is Saturday, and we have a line formed here at the House of Justice Auditorium. Reverend Ron McHenry is here, and he wants to know, what's on your mind?
I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praises shall continually be in my mouth. If you are happy and you know it, put your hands together for another segment of What's on Your Mind, where you, the community, have the opportunity to share what you've been thinking. We want to say hello to all of those who are seated here in the House of Justice, to those that are watching via all our different live streams, either Facebook or YouTube. Step right up, tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, blessed are the brief, what is on your mind?
Yes, my name is Ernest Waters. I want to thank each and every one of us who came out to Wall Street. I want to thank everybody who stood up for justice and peace in the American way. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, the bottom of Nan's heart, and everybody who took a part. I want you to know this. Stand up for pride. Stand up side by side. Stand in unity. Stand in solidarity. Stand up for a common cause. Standing because it unites us all. This is a struggle. This is a fight. This is time for all of us to unite. Together we stand. Divided we fall. Don't be divided by what people say. Come together in unity in every way. We stand for justice. We stand for pride. No justice, no peace.
Thank you so very much for those comments. We want to remind you that the viewpoints shared are simply the viewpoints of the contributors. You can always contribute by going to www.nationalactionnetwork.net, or you can dial 877-626-4651. Please step up, tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, blessed are the brief, what is on your mind? I'm going to come to you, Mother.
Good morning, my Nan children. My name is Ivy Walton. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Did not we have a good time on Thursday? What a time, what a time, what a time. And you know, as I listened to Rev speak, and he said that we are strong people. We are faithful people. Yes, Rev, that's what they don't like about it. They don't like it because we are strong and faithful. But then, too, they want us to be strong so that they can work us to them. And they want us to be faithful to them. And they want us to be faithful to them. But hey, DEI is here to stay.
We thank you for those comments. We want to remind the audience that we just had a huge march on Wall Street. We came out in the thousands. It was historic. This Thursday, this Thursday coming, we're not stopping the demonstrating. We will be at Bill Ackman's office again for the 86th week as we continue this campaign. Please step up, tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, what's on your mind.
Good day, everybody, and God bless everybody. My name is Sister Reverend Word. I'm from Heaven, born in Harlem. I'm 74 years old and new, and I'm a National Action Network lifetime member. Of course, what's on my mind is Bible scriptures. And Christ Jesus gives us a praiseful example of how prayer works. A lot of us was praying for the safety and peace of this demonstration. And in my opinion, it was a miracle. A miracle that showed that God is shining God's love on each and every one of us. So I want to also really, in my own way, really thank everyone who participated. We had a new division or committee called the Marching Marshals. They did their thing. It was very safe, very orderly, because God is a God of order. And this was, I looked at it even online, and it's exciting online. So stay tuned online, look at it again and again and again. This was miraculous. I'm trying to keep it short. I got a lot to say, but I can't say it right now. But God bless y'all, and we got to vote for this democracy because we do have to march, and we are with a leader. I got to say this. It was not by mistake that Reverend Sharpton heard the voice of God and obeyed the voice of God. I mean, you have to, we are supposed to open ourselves, open our hearts to God, and sometimes we miss it because we're not perfect. But thank God that we do really hear from God when we need to. And Reverend Sharpton heard from God for this march to take place on Wall Street instead of Washington, D.C. God bless you all. Good day.
Please step up, tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, blessed are the brief, what is on your mind?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Reverend Ramsey. I'm from Brooklyn, and I just wanted to piggyback off of what Sister Reverend Word had said, that this was an excellent march. I mean, people expect when we come together to do the norm, what they expect us to do, but the devil is a liar. Look at your neighbor and say, the devil is a lie. All right, so we came together in unity, and everything worked out because all things do work together for good to them that love the Lord. So we thank God that the leader, Reverend Al Sharpton, was led by God, and he obeyed God, and we came together as one. But sometimes there are people that will try to move you or test you or try you, but that's part of the growth, amen? So even though when they see us together, they try to irritate you to try to get you to act other than. But we continue to stand and fight for justice. No justice, no peace. And remember, October 25th to November 2nd is early voting. Get out and vote. Make a difference. Don't just talk about it, but be about it.
If we can give God praise for our leader, the Reverend Al Sharpton, and all the work that he does, we appreciate him on so many levels. For over 60 years, he has been in the fight, and we thank God for using him. Step up, tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, what's on your mind?
Good morning, Nan family. My name is Brenda Ricketts, and I'm from Yonkers. What's on my mind is to thank everybody for showing up at the march. But what's more on my mind are those in our community who did not participate in the march. Your silence is a form of complicity. That means you agree with what the administration in Washington is doing. You agree that it's okay to have black masks over people and grab people off the streets without their consent. You also agree that it's okay to rewrite our history, to take our history out of the libraries, out of the museums, and try to erase us. You also agree that it's okay for Elon Musk, a non-government person, to fire government workers. Your silence is a form of agreement, and I am truly ashamed of you. Your silence gives Trump your permission to destroy our country.
Thank you. Please step up, tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, what is on your mind?
My name is Maurice. I'm from Brooklyn. And before I say what's on my mind, I want to give a shout out to everybody in there because I saw all of y'all out there. I want to give a shout to Reverend Al Sharpton for organizing a successful march. This is the first time I was in the march and got to see him in action walk right past me. So I felt like I was part of history. And I'm blessed to have been part of that. But let's not forget, we got to take this moment now and we have to understand the assignment. Don't just come out to march. When it's time to vote, come out to vote as well, right? All eyes on the midterm. We're going to take it back, and we're going to get this administration, we're going to put some checks and balances on this administration. But what's on my mind, I just want to give a shout out to Gavin Newsom for having the courage to stand up. When a lot of other Democrats keep saying, well, my hands are tied, I can't do this, I can't do that, he said, you know what, we're going to have a vote and we're going to change these rules and we're going to fight fire with fire. They steal 5 seats, we're taking back 5 seats. Now we need to stay on that type of timing. I'm tired of the Democrats that we put in place, like Chuck Schumer and them, when they have the power to block this bill from passing in the first place, and instead of using that and shutting the government down, they sit down. You vote for them to stand up and they sit down. You vote for them to stick their chest out and stand up to Donald Trump, and instead they keep folding up. Too many folders in office. We need to replace the folders with some people that are going to stand up. So keep standing up. No justice, no peace.
We want to remind the audience that all of the viewpoints shared is simply the viewpoints of the contributors and don't directly reflect that of the National Action Network. Please step up. Tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, what's on your mind.
My name is Cheryl Chapman. I'm from the Bronx. I'm here because I want to thank Al Sharpton for the march on Wall Street. I've been to Washington a few times with them. He did a fantastic job, and I want to thank everyone that participated, that kept their order. We came past some of the red shirts, and we kept our peace. I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank everyone that was a captain or a co-captain on the bus. They were very good. I want to thank them now, and I want you to know that no justice, no peace. We'll be with you.
Thank you so much. The march was a success. We had thousands come out. We had people from across the country be bussed in, and we will continue to keep this going as we've been demonstrating every Thursday. Please step up. Tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, what is on your mind?
Good morning. This is Dr. Jesse Fields, Harlem Community Doctor, and what's on my mind is what's on all of our minds, the great success of the March on Wall Street. It was glorious. It was glorious. To me, it was the birth of a black-led movement to take on Donald Trump, to stand up to Trump. A black-led movement continuing the work of Dr. King's dream and the leadership of the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton to live that dream, to make that dream a reality. I was very happy to meet people from all over the country, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Kentucky, etc. It was prophetic to start the march from the African burial ground, and from there to march to Wall Street. This country, as we know, was built on our enslaved bodies. But we were pushed to the margins of the country. From the margins, we fought to make America a multiracial democracy, and we will not let Donald Trump shut us out and take us backward. I wanted to give a brief update on the Legionnaire's disease outbreak in Central Harlem. On Thursday, the New York City Department of Health reported that test samples from people infected from Legionnaire's disease and from the cooling towers show that the outbreak in which 114 people were infected and 7 people died. The source of that outbreak was 2 city-run buildings, Harlem Hospital and the construction site at 40 West 137th Street. And the next day, the health department announced the end of the investigation. The outbreak was preventable, and the leadership of the city should be accountable to Harlem. This is the second time that Harlem Hospital cooling tower has been the source of an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease. It happened in 2021. The health department should have done a thorough investigation. They should have handled it better on how this they should have reported on how this happened, take responsibility. The people of Harlem and the entire city deserve to know what happened, what the negligence was, and most of all, what real enforceable measures will be taken to prevent this from happening again. No power to the people, no justice, no peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Please step up. Tell us your name, where you're from. And then we have a long line. We have quite a substantial line. Blessed are the brief.
Yes, my name is Anna Quaino from Queens. I just want to thank everyone for coming to make this historic march on Wall Street successful. I've been to many marches in my life, because I'm from the 60s. And so I'm so glad that Reverend Sharpton has the spirit of Dr. King and Reverend Jesse Jackson to fulfill the importance of being on the street, to being demonstrated. And so that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Please step up. Tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, what's on your mind?
Good morning. My name is Michelle Blomenville. I'm from Brooklyn and currently living in Queens. I want to say that Thursday was very overwhelming, and my heart was full because of the unity that we exhibited as a community and how we all came together. I remember when my neighbor took me to hear Reverend Sharpton speak for the first time, and I was in my 20s. Next month I'll be 62. I was in my 20s, and his sermon brought tears to my eyes, inspiring, encouraging, and heartfelt. From then, I considered him to be a mentor in my head. Him, Reverend Sharpton, and also my grandfather, an activist from Panama. I would have meetings in my home and discussing personal and community growth. I remember my mom telling me that my grandfather was very proud of me, but I also knew what would come with community galvanizing. For instance, after my mom, I'm so proud of her.
In conclusion.
I'm so proud of her, 86. We had airplanes over our home last night. And I know if anybody experienced this, anybody that marched on Thursday experienced this, I would like to talk with them.
And we thank you so much. Let's make some noise for Thursday. We came out in the thousands. We came out and made our voices known, and we're keeping the dream alive. Please step up. Tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, blessed are the brief, what is on your mind?
Good morning. I'm Winifred Ayuk from Brooklyn and from Cameroon. I expect cops to have a good knowledge of the law guiding demonstrations. Protesters and anti-protesters are supposed to keep a certain legal distance away from the group. On Thursday, there was a guy blowing his horn and his whistle constantly, and when one of the protesters confronted, I was surprised, shocked, disappointed. A police officer came there. Instead of telling the anti-guy to keep this certain distance away from the group, all he did was, don't touch each other, don't touch each other. No, he had to do what he had to do. I have a complete video of that. No justice, no peace.
Please step up, tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, what's on your mind?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joe Gonzalez, and I hail from Brooklyn, New York. And what's on my mind this morning is the critical matter of school safety. In the past week, we have gunfights, shootouts, whatever, on school campuses all over the United States. This is an epidemic. So to everyone under the sound of my voice, reach out to your elected officials, reach out to law enforcement, reach out to the civil rights organizations, community groups. Everyone start making noise about what is going to be done to secure school campuses. And that's what's on my mind.
Thank you. Please step up, tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, blessed are the brief. What's on your mind?
Good morning. My name is Wale, and I'm from Manhattan. What's on my mind is Anthony Johnson, who was shot going in the Bronx at a basketball game. It's called Harron Park. There was no permit. We got to start teaching our kids to get these permits. There was no police. There were no cops there. She's in the hospital with a bullet lodged in the back of her eye. Then there was Amadou, who was in Crown Heights. He was a DoorDash deliverer. At 3:30 in the morning, he's making the delivery, and in some after-hour spot in Crown Heights, which I don't remember the name, he gets shot in his heart and he's dead. Those two families, and there were other people that died too, they need to sue the city of New York, because those council people, those DAs and all of them from the Bronx and Manhattan, they know about those after-hour spots that exist. They know what goes on in their districts, and they do nothing about it. They need to sue the city of New York, because it's not right. And all these guns, and everything. All these politicians, the DA, the mayor, and the mayor say he gonna put more cops up there. Those poor little children don't need to see no more cops because it's scary. Cops looking at the police is scary, especially if you had encounters with the police. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. We want to remind the audience that the viewpoints shared are simply the viewpoints of the contributors. We have a crisis department that functions 6 days a week. I would say almost nearly 7. You can dial 877-626-4651 if you have a crisis situation. We have a broad legal team to help you out. Tell us your name, where you're from, and then briefly, what is on your mind?
My name is Coco, and I'm from East Harlem, and what's on my mind is opportunity and experience. That's what young people need. And Mr. Arthur Robinson gave my son that opportunity, allowing him to be a porter here. And I wanted to publicly thank him for that because young people need work experience, they need opportunities. He got to meet all of these people. And I just want to thank Reverend Al Sharpton, the House of Justice, for allowing that to happen. And we need young people because they are our future.
Thank you so much. This concludes this segment of What's on Your Mind. If you weren't able to share this week, you can always go to www.nationalactionnetwork.net. We remind the audience that the viewpoints shared are simply the viewpoints of the contributors. You're back into the hands of our host, Nancy Crawford.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend McHenry, and to all that contributed to today's What's on Your Mind. Our members are hard working on the ground to raise the issues and making change into reality in this country. To hear more about what our committees are doing, we take you in the House this week with Dawn Jones, chairperson of the Political Action Committee of the New York City chapter. Let us welcome her at this time.
Thank you. Greetings, House of Justice, and happy Saturday. August is Civic Health Month. Ready for your civic checkup? Civic Health Month is the perfect time to make sure your democracy muscles are strong. Check your voter registration, preview your ballot, set election reminders. Get it all done in minutes at vote411.org. Your vote equals your power. Use it. Vote louder. It is time for a civic health checkup. In the words of the late, great Malcolm X, the ballot or the bullet. In the words of Malcolm X, power's defense of freedom is greater than power on behalf of tyranny and expression. As military forces return in our streets, we are reminded power that protects injustice is not peace, it is control. Malcolm X spoke these words decades ago, but they speak directly now. We must stay alert, we must be united, because the struggle for dignity, freedom, and truth is far from over. The National Action Network Political Action Committee, we stand rooted and growing in legacy, also committed to liberation today, each and every day. Know your rights, know your power. In times like these, when federal forces show up in our cities and power tries to rewrite truth, it becomes even more urgent to understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to record law enforcement in public spaces. You have the right to ask, am I being detained? You have the right to organize, as we did on last Thursday, to resist, to speak with protection and purpose. August is Civic Health Month, and the National Action Network New York City Chapter Political Action Committee invites you to a critical leadership discussion on our 5th Saturday Voter Education Forum Project Series right here at the House of Justice, 106 West 145th Street in the Village of Harlem on today, August 30th, 2025 at 12 o'clock noon on Know Your Rights. Help us set the stage for our commitment and work for the next 2 years. Light refreshments will be served by the NAN Welcome Committee. For further information, contact NANPAC at 212-690-3070. Our confirmed panelists are Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz of the 39th Assembly District, Shaletta McCaskill, Board Member, League of Women Voters, Attorney Appling, Legal Aid Society, Professor Wallace Ford, Department of Public Administration, School of Business, Medgar Evers College, and City of New York. New York City needs to invest in education, and they know that cuts do not add up. We also want people to be engaged. That is why we offer many opportunities to get involved in our democracy. Say yes and register to vote here at the House of Justice and with New York City Votes. Key dates: Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, National Voter Registration Day. Monday, October 20th, 2025, last day to change your address, that's the deadline. Saturday, October 25th, 2025 to Sunday, November 2nd, 2025, early voting and general election. That's on Saturday, October 25th, voter registration day. And that is the last day to register to vote. August is Civic Health Month. Health is always on the ballot. August is Civic Health Month, a time to showcase the link between voting and health, also celebrate efforts that ensure each and every voter has the opportunity to support their community's health at the ballot box. Every August, over 400 organizations nationwide, including national institutions like NANPAC, join together to learn and take action to improve civic health of their communities. We wish you peace, justice, and blessings, and hope you can stick and stay this afternoon. Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Dawn, for that information. And we now welcome the Nan Change Ensemble under the direction of our guest musical director, Bravon Neal.
Your anointing
Ensemble. Every Saturday, we have an inspirational word coming from one of our leading pastors from across the country. Please welcome to bring an inspirational word to us this morning, Reverend Dr. Charles Galbraith, a senior pastor of Alliance Tabernacle in Brooklyn, New York. Let us greet him with a warm National Action Network welcome.
Thank you. Does anybody know that your steps were ordered on Thursday? There was some righteous moving that was taking place, and I believe that we were walking worthy. Amen? Listen, it's wonderful to be able to share with you. We celebrate what God has done and is doing. The march is on. And we're thankful and grateful for what took place on Thursday and looking forward with expectation on what's yet going to take place. We say we could not do this without the leadership, the vision, the direction, the guidance, and the inspiration of the president and founder of the National Action Network, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. Could you put your hands together and celebrate this great leader who's bringing together from clergy to elected to the people for collective change. We honor Chairman Richardson, as well as I saw Pastor Jefferson, who is here today as well. We say greetings to all of those who are gathered. Listen, family, just for a few moments, I believe that there is a word for us. If you look within the text of Scripture in Hebrews, the 10th chapter, they're around the 38th and 39th verse. Declares it this way: but the righteous shall live by faith. They take no pleasure in shrinking back. Verse 39, but you do not belong to those who shrink back and are destroyed, but to those who have faith and are saved. It goes on to chapter 11, says, by now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Just for the few moments that I have to share with you, I want to talk about what does it mean to finish and not fold. Finish and not fold. Now, I have to let you know, family, I grew up as the son of a pastor, and if you grew up as the son of a pastor, there's certain things that people just don't let you do, even though you want to do them. One of those things was playing cards. And my family never let me play cards. My cousins were playing cards. They were playing spades. They were playing Texas Hold'em. They were playing all them games, but they wouldn't let the church boy play cards. Now they kept me away from for a little while, but when I got on my own, I said, I'm going to be playing me some of these cards. Now, as I was playing cards, they told me the first one you got to learn is spades, so you know we got to learn that. Second one they said I got to learn was Texas Hold'em. They said it's important because it's a game of bluffing to disguise who has the highest hand. While we were playing the game, one of my friends, when it was getting down to just me and him were left in the time that we were sharing together, he asked me an important question. He said, Charles, I don't know what you got, but you got to make a decision. Are you going to finish or are you going to fold? I want to suggest that wasn't just a question concerning a card game. That's a question we've got to ask right now. Are we going to finish or are we going to fold? To fold is to resign, to surrender, to capitulate, to back down. And I want to suggest, family, that there's a lot of folding going on. Too many institutions are folding. Too many political power parties are acquiescing to imperialistic power and are folding. Too many institutions of higher learning that are supposed to be the protectors of free thought and expression are folding. Colleges and universities are folding. Media companies deemed to be the fourth estate are folding. Newspapers that are supposed to be the papers of record, some of them owned by the richest individuals in the entire country, are folding. Corporations are folding. Corporations just a few years ago who advocated for diversity, equity, and inclusion are now trafficking in division, emptiness, and exclusion. They're folding. Tech companies are folding. Law firms are folding. States are folding. But I want to suggest on today, you do not belong to those who fold, but you are called to finish. Look at somebody near you next to you and tell them, don't fold, finish. Here it is, family. How do you finish and don't fold? The way that you finish and don't fold is that you've got to recognize that there's been a significant sacrifice. That there are those who have gone ahead of you and before you, who have served and sacrificed, who have marched and placed their hand to the plow and to the ballot, who have served over and over again. And because they didn't fold, you can't fold. Because they didn't give out, you can't give out. There ought to be something in you that says, because we're surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, that we can't back down and we can't sit down and we can't turn around, but we've got to finish. Look at someone near you on today and tell them, neighbor, oh neighbor, this is not your season to fold, but this is your season to finish. Not only can you not fold because you had a significant sacrifice, you also can't fold because you've got a promise if you persevere. You've got a promise if you persevere. There's the realization that wrong won't always be on the throne. That it won't always be like this. That evil has to come to an account. That wickedness never ultimately wins. But righteousness and justice know how to stand in the face of uncertainty. Is there anybody here on a Saturday morning who knows what it means to persevere even when you don't see the promise? Even when it looks far off, you keep on marching and putting one foot up in front of the other, because you know, if God be for us, who can be? Again, I got to move on. Here it is, family. The reason that we can't fold is this. Because although we may have public problems, we've got private strength. The text says, you don't belong to those who shrink back and are destroyed, but to those who have faith and are saved. The reason I can't fold is because there's something in me that keeps on strengthening me even when I don't know where my strength's gonna come from. And so I want to encourage somebody, even if you're tired, even if you're unsure, even if it's not making sense, you can keep on marching, you can keep on working, because there's something on the inside of you. Is there anybody in here on today who knows that if God is on your side, you got a possession, you got a child, you got something in you that cannot fail? Is there anybody in here who knows you will not fold, but you shall finish?
What a word, what a word. Thank you. Let us welcome the Nan Change Choir.
Comfort, for her name, I
our guest musical director, Bravon Neal. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to National Action Network Live on 107.5 WBLS. Let us now welcome our president and founder, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton.
No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. 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 Shake hands with the person next to you. Tell them you love them.
Never give up and never give in. A change will come. Keep faith down within. Troubles and trials won't last always. We're not on our side, nothing but pride again. My sister, hold on, be strong. A better day is coming and it won't be too long. Yes, change will come. Change will come.
In the early 1600s, they brought captives from Africa, brought us here and enslaved us. Some of us, as a result of slave trade, one of the uncomfortable things we don't like to talk about is some of us traded some of us and made a deal to make us slaves. Some of us still trading some of us. But those that made it across the Atlantic, I want y'all to think about that. You are in the bowels of a ship, chained to one another. Can't get up and go to the restroom. Can't get a drink of water. Whatever your body function was, you had to do it right on you. With leg locks and handcuffs or chains on your arms and your legs. If somebody died next to you, you had to bear the weight of that dead body all the way across the Atlantic. No human suffering ever eclipsed the suffering we went through. And they buried many of those bodies when they got here and only sold the healthy ones. Stood us up on a stage and said, show your teeth. because they only got the more money for the healthier ones. And they buried most of them there and took the healthy ones and sold them into slavery. The largest ports in slavery in the 1600s was in Charleston, South Carolina, and on Wall Street, New York. In fact, the reason it was named Wall Street is they had the enslaved build a wall to protect them from the Native Americans because they had taken their land. But 400 years later, the children of those you enslaved, the children of those you sold like a bar of soap, the children of those you saw as a commodity, decided to come down and deal with the institutions of your children, telling them we built this country and we never got paid. We brought you into world prominence and dominance, but we're not afraid of you because we are the heirs of the healthiest and strongest Africans that ever lived. Though the weaker Africans didn't get across the Atlantic. It was only the strong that got here. That's why we can walk down Wall Street and any other street. We're not intimidated by Trump. We've fought Trumps before. Because when we stand up, God will hold us up and your change will come.
Your change, it will come. Your change. Keep on marching, keep on believing that your change, that it will come. Yeah. Change will come. Yeah.
Oh. 14 years ago, yesterday, August 29th, 2011, show went on television for the first time called Politics Nation with Al Sharpton. If you go back and Google it, you'll find that all of the critics said that won't last 2 months. Don't know why they gave Sharpton a show. How you gonna have a civil rights leader with a show? And the average cable show, the average talk show, lasts 2 to 3 years the most. We've been on 14 years. We've had presidents on, we've had leaders of every phase of this country, and then regular people. If y'all look at the reel on my Instagram, we've had everybody from Harry Belafonte to Aretha Franklin to Barack Obama's last interview as president he did on my show. And we still here because we still got more to say. We are looking at what's going on in Chicago, threatening to bring in the National Guard. We're looking at what they're doing to this black woman on the Federal Reserve. We're looking at what they are dealing with in terms of trying to turn back the clock on our voting rights. So don't worry, if you think we still on, look 5 o'clock today on MSNBC. And we be on today and tomorrow. I don't take holidays off because I had to work too hard to have something to work on. So I'll be live at 5 Easter time. But I thought about, as Ashley, who does some of our work with JT, I thought about when Ashley was introducing me at the rally. Did a great job. And I thought about how they said when I was a young boy that, he comes out of broken home. Daddy left when I was 10. We had to move from a nice house in Hollis, Queens to the projects. And they say he ain't gonna do nothing. Dropped out of college, say he ain't gonna be nothing. Said that, it's not his fault. He come from a broken situation, got daddy issues. But I used to take some of that. Somebody here in this audience, somebody watching me is going through that. And where you won't admit it to yourself. You can't believe in yourself because you done internalized other people's evaluation of yourself. And even though you snap back at them, all of those scars get inside. But I had a praying mother. And my mother told me, if God be for you, I don't care what they say about you in the neighborhood. If God be for you, I don't care what the little kids in the church is saying, laughing at your daddy leaving. If God be for you, it's more than the whole world against you. And I thought about my mama while I watched my daughter introduce me, and I know that there is a God that's been with me all the way. And I come by this morning to tell you, if you just stand up, even if inside you got your doubts, stand on the promises of God and your change will come.
Your change, it will come. I know it will. If God be for us, who can be against us? Your change will. I know it will. Keep on fighting, keep on believing that your change will. I know your change. Keep on marching, your change. It will come. I know it will. Yeah, your change. It will come. I know, it will. Oh, change will. Starting with you.
National Action Network, Change Choir, give them a big hand. Give them a big hand. Certainly we're happy to be in the House of Justice for another Saturday morning action rally for you that are here at the House of Justice, 106 West 145th Street in the village of Harlem. And you that are watching live on Impact Television all over the world, and you that are watching our www.nationalactionnetwork.net live stream. We're happy to be with you another Saturday morning to give our report on where the action is. Give a hand to our presider, Sister Nancy Darlene Crawford. Give a hand to our musical director today, Brother Brevon Neal. Give a hand to our band, Brother Chris Garland and Raymond and Guy Jenkins. And I want to say that we are happy this is Brevon's birthday. Glad to wish Brevon a happy birthday. Don't he look good for 19 years old? And I'm sure Tony gonna give you a gift. Well, you better see me, you better see me. Let me also say, didn't we hear a word from Reverend Dr. Charles Galbraith? He gave us a real word that we need on this Labor Day weekend. And we're also honored to have with us this morning one of our national board members who pastors Metropolitan Baptist Church in Newark, New Jersey, the largest black congregation in Newark, and that is Reverend Dr. David Jefferson Sr. Let me first begin by thanking all of you that made Thursday historic. It wasn't just a big news day. We saw the news coverage. It was historic in the sense that we did on Thursday what no black gathering did since Trump's second term. To have a black-led march. Now, we've been supporting other marches, and I'm going to support the march on Monday. We supported No Kings, we supported others. But this was the first one a black organization led, and others came in, unions, and others came in and followed our banner. And for black America to be, organized black America, to be silent while this man has declared war on us was something that needed to be done, which is why it was noted as historic even by the media. Even by the media. I mean, we had international press there. And people said, well, you know, it's good, they may have 3,000, 4,000. The police said it was 15,000 to 20,000. Some said it was more than that. I asked one of the police on the beat. He said, no, this is between 15 and 20. And I said, well, I ain't looking for an official count. I know that when we got on the stage, the end of the line was about 10 blocks up. And let me commend folks that came from all over the country. This was a national march. Now, NAN itself paid for buses that came from Nashville, Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, Louisville, Kentucky, Atlanta, Georgia, Tallahassee, Florida, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, several buses, Detroit, several buses. I'm just naming the one I know because we paid for them. And that's about 10 cities and Newark, New Jersey, Jersey City. There's about 10 cities, Buffalo, New York. And then you had people that come on their own. Captain came, Seattle, Washington, stand-up captain, Seattle, Washington. And came from everywhere because it is time to stand up. And that's what he preached about this morning. It's time to quit folding. Because too many people, Trump has bluffed us into folding. One of the things I don't understand is how you are afraid of somebody you already whipped. I mean, think about that, Reverend Jefferson. He lost the 2020 election. He lost. In 2020, George Floyd killed, knee on his neck, Minneapolis. Breonna Taylor killed, Louisville, Kentucky, shot in her own house. Ahmaud Arbery killed by white civilians in Brunswick, Georgia. We built marches and turned this country around while he was president. Trump couldn't stop the marches. Trump couldn't stop the protests. In the middle of it, he couldn't say anything. Went out in front of the church across the street from the White House with the Bible upside down, talking about 2 Corinthians. Didn't even know it was 2 Corinthians. Lady asked him in an interview, What's your favorite chapter? Well, I read 2 Corinthians. And we didn't stop marching. This organization called a march in Washington. Same date, August 28th. That's the date we go. That's the date we went to Wall Street this year. Why? Because that date was the day they assembled in Washington, the March on Washington 1963. And that's where Dr. King gave the speech they call I Have a Dream, but you need to read the whole speech. Now, we called the march, and Jefferson, it was in the middle of the pandemic. People say ain't nobody coming on march in the pandemic. Then they said, Sharpton, you have a super spreader. I sat down with my late great brother, attorney, Michael Hardy, and said he was concerned about we get sued, super spreader. So we went and got temperature, thermometers. Y'all that were there. And we checked everybody coming in around that huge hall or the huge pool there in Washington. We had over 200,000 people come. Not one super spread happened. Some of y'all went to a basement party and caught COVID. You know, some of y'all still go to them blue light parties, Tony, you know where you put up the blue bulb. Put on a slow 45 record. Some of the older folk know what I'm talking about. Young folk looking at me like, what are you talking about? Don't laugh at them blue light parties with the slow records. Might be how you got born in the first place. But that's another subject, another Saturday. One of the reasons that we go August 28th is because everybody that has some civilized mentality is governed by certain boundaries and certain situations. August 28th is a day for those of us that come out of the King tradition. Other religions and other faiths and other civil rights groups have their day. That's a sacred day for us in National Action Network. And we honored that first day that we did it. We started in 2000. Coretta Scott King was the speaker. And we went, Damon Bam, stand up. Damon been with me since he was a child. And Damon live in Atlanta now, run the Atlanta office with Miss Edith. And he would tell you what surprised all of us. Martin III was there, and he's been there every year with us, and now his wife. And Mrs. King was to speak. We put her up to speak, and Mrs. King said, I'm glad to be here, and I want to bring on those that will carry this on, and pass the baton to Martin III and me that day. And 25 years later, we stood on Wall Street together, keeping our assignment. If you don't have certain landmarks, that's why the Bible said, remove not the ancient landmarks. If you don't have certain landmarks, certain dates that matter, you can't measure where you at. That's why you have birthday parties, to measure you made it another year. And August 28th is a measuring date for those that come out of the movement of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That's why everybody talk about, am I going to speak or I want my issue out there? No, you ain't speaking, and your issue is going to be what we dealing with in the King theory. Now, there are a lot of other issues we won't deal with, and I'm going to deal with. But don't try to be getting different with us. You know, people come up under the tent trying to, and you can tell folk want to speak. How you doing, Reverend? Smiling all them up. And I smile right back and say, you ain't speaking. This is not showtime at the Apollo. We have got a disciplined speech. Why? Because Dr. King laid out a dream. And let me tell y'all this. When they marched Captain in 63, first of all, they all came together. A. Philip Randolph, labor. That's why we had labor. They called the march, labor. A. Philip Randolph called the march. With him was Roy Wilkins, head of NACP. Whitney Young, Urban League. Dorothy Height. There was a young guy there, they were scared what he was going to say, named John Lewis, who was the head of the of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And some of the SNCC folk said Dr. King was too moderate. All this generation fight didn't start now. They always been that. Dr. King never saw his 40th birthday, and they was calling him too old. But they all came together and marched. Some of the nationalists attacked the march. Just like some of y'all call yourself nationalists mad that we had the march. But we, despite all of that, they came. And let me say this to you that people don't understand. They came when it was by law barring them from riding the front of a bus. They got on Greyhound buses and had to ride the back. All the way from Mississippi, all the way from Georgia, all the way from Florida, all the way from Louisiana. They had to ride the back of the bus. When the bus stopped for people to get off and get food, they could not go in the restaurants. They didn't get the public accommodations bill signed till 64. In 63, it was still segregation that was the law. They couldn't stop at a hotel till they got north of the Mason-Dixie line, yet they still came. And if they can come in the face of apartheid, then what is your excuse when you can go anywhere, sit anywhere on a bus, sit anywhere on a plane, other than you too lazy and ungrateful to stand up and keep the dream alive? We can fly first class, and your grandmama rode the back of the bus, so you'd had the right to vote. And you letting some slickster rewrite the district lines to take you of your vote. Grandma beat people worse than Trump, stronger than Trump. Get your backbone ready, and let's keep the dream alive and finish the task. "20 years ago yesterday, 20 years ago, and I'm going to deal with it on Politics Nation, hurricane came into New Orleans. Because of the structural deficiencies, when we talk about infrastructure, the levees broke and flooded out New Orleans. 1,800 people died. Thousands abandoned. Flooded out the whole city. And some ran trying to get away from the city. They ran over to a bridge that was leading to the suburbs of New Orleans, mostly white. And the police got at the end of the bridge and forced them back into New Orleans. I remember I and Mark Morial, who had been mayor, and Jesse Jackson, all of us went down and marched over that bridge 20 years ago. 20 years later, 62 years later from the march, They are now taking out redistricting to try and take away representations that we have. If they get away with it in Texas, the way Abbott has signed it, we may lose 2 or 3 black seats and 5 Democratic seats. Might lose Jasmine Crockett's seat. Might lose Yacey's seat. Now they're talking about going in Missouri, lose Emmanuel Cleaver's seat. Why? Because they don't want Hakeem Jeffries to be the Speaker of the House. Because the Speaker has the power to deal with the schedule of bills and committees. And you sit up here arguing about which leader you like, rather than they're taking away and in many ways dissipating our vote. And you preachers sitting around more concerned about exchanging tailors who can make your suit. Doc, you need to check my guy out. Rather than exchanging public policy. God didn't call you to be a dresser. And I dress all right, but I work in my dress. I'm not telling you to don't be sharp, but do some sharp stuff. Ain't no good having a good wardrobe and a bad position. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, one of the bad sides of social media, and I do social media, we got almost 2 million people on Instagram alone, but the bad side of this is how preachers be posing and not saying nothing. I mean, it gets me a little disturbed, Gabriel, because I be going down Instagram and say, okay, this guy look good. Let me look at this. He all dressed up. I mean, every hair locked in place. And then you turn it on. He said, hey, shake somebody's hand and say, Jesus will. Touch the neighbor in front of you, say, won't he do it? When you gonna preach? That's why I sit up by myself, but I'm tired of people beating up my back. Touch somebody, don't touch me. I get bad reaction to getting touched from behind. Tell me about what God can do for us right now. God delivered the Israelites. God delivered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. God delivered Daniel. God delivered his son on the cross. Why are you afraid to say that God can deliver us in the era of Donald Trump? If you don't believe that God still sits on the throne, then sit down and let somebody that's not scared stand up and say what needs to be said. We are right now sitting, I'm not talking about what might happen. They have redrawn the district lines in Texas, which would rob 5 congressional seats right now. They have sent National Guard into Washington, D.C. and superseded the local police, even though crime was going down. And now he's selling wolf tickets that he's going in Chicago. I got a couple of congressmen on tonight from Chicago. They're going in Chicago and say they may go into California, to Oakland, and may go into L.A., and may go into Baltimore. Now, let me tell you the contradiction, the historic contradiction. Jefferson, they used to say that the conservatives and the Republicans were the states' rights party. They did not want the federal government dictating what they could do. That was a fight against slavery, that we should decide it state by state. That was a Confederate situation. Now with Trump in, they're doing the opposite, saying let the national government take over the state. I thought y'all were states' rights. No, this is based on power and race. There'll be states' right to keep race and power, and there'll be national to keep rights and power. They're not inconsistent. We are. Where are we now? Why are we not standing up? That's why some of us went to Wall Street, to let them know we are not asleep and we're not scared and we won't back down. And I don't care what you say or do, we'll go right to the finances, the ones that finance what you're doing, and stand up. What has Trump already done? Ain't been in but 7 months. Gone into 8 months. Feels like 3 years. In these 8 months, Trump has returned the tax cuts to the rich. He had passed it in 2017 when he first was president. When Biden and Harris got in, they got the Congress revoke it. Now he done put it back. He balanced it by cutting Medicaid and the SNAP program. He has gone after your right to vote. He has killed DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Told any company that does it, we will take away your federal money. Take any colleges that teach it, we'll take away your federal money. 8 months now, he done took the economic independence from you. He's canceling your congressional district lines and has turned around and closed down corporate and academic diversity, equity, and inclusion. And you wondering why I call a march. You talk about it'll be over. It'll be real over if we don't do something. Well, Red Mal, I don't believe in marching. We need to do something else. Well, whatever it is, do it. I ain't standing your way. When we started this fight about DEI, some said in Minneapolis they started a boycott of targeting them. I said, fine, we gonna go do the opposite in support. We're gonna have boycotts. And some of y'all here, when we went 3 cities and bought from those that was for DEI. Reason we didn't call a different boycott, we didn't want people confused. Oh, Sharpton, we ain't with that, but no. We with the boycott and the boycott. All right? So we don't have no confusion. Because you know some Negroes just wait for a way to have some kind of stuff to talk about. They be online today lying about what I said this morning. A bunch of online activists with an out-of-line proposal. But we said we do that. Then we say that we're going to have this march on Wall Street because all of them are headquartered on Wall Street. All the companies, all their brokers, that's where they at. And we went on Thursday. Let me tell you why the significance of them thousands. It was a work day. Somebody said to me, well, why don't you go Friday? People get half day off because that ain't August 28th.
Thank you.
We went on a work day. And when we got down about half a mile, you could see people all up in the skyscrapers that were in these offices, looking out, watching thousands of people. And even if their bosses were out in the Hamptons, they were on the phone saying, well, how does it look? Say, well, they don't want 2 blocks of them, and he's still coming. We sent a message Now, let me tell you the next step. While we're going to support the boycott, we bought stock in several companies, and we're going to take hundreds of you to the stockholders meeting. We are shareholders. So National Action Network has bought shares. And you got to let us know when the stockholder meeting is, because we are shareholders now. And we're going to get to the shareholders meeting, start next month. And when they go to the floor, we're going to set them and say, we are shareholders. Why have y'all stopped diversity, equity, and inclusion? Why have we turned on black consumers? They're going to say, Reverend, you can't have the floor. I'm a shareholder. This is a shareholder meeting. What you mean I can't speak? I got shares. I bought your product. Now I bought your shares. We must be heard and dealt with. That's the next step. So they want us to be bumping into each other, attacking each other. There are several roads to get there. I'm going to travel my road. Well, Reverend, how the guy asked me the other day, how do y'all figure this out? Let me tell you something. Let's go back to the Bible for a minute. I'll let y'all go. When Moses had led the children of Israel and got in the wilderness, and the children of Israel turned on Moses. I read that all the time. Reverend McHenry, you did a great job, by the way. Give Reverend McHenry a hand. I beat him up in private so I can give him applause in public. He should see the whippings I took coming up from Jesse and Bill Jones. I'm nice. But when Moses got in the wilderness, I want y'all to watch this now, because sometimes we run through this too quick. When he got in the wilderness, the very people that he brought out of slavery turned on him. It wasn't no new Israelites. These are the ones that had just walked through dry land in the middle of the Red Sea. Same folks. Same folks that had been slaves in Egypt and got mad at the Red Sea and started cussing out Moses, saying, wasn't there enough slaves, enough graves in Egypt? You brought us out here to die. And then he stretched his rod and God divided the water, and they walked across and got in the wilderness and turned their back on Moses and God. Yes, sir. They started worshiping graven images, started worshiping golden calves, started having trinkets, and they wandered around in the wilderness for 40 years. Well, why you bring that up, Sharpton? The same blacks that were in the back of the bus, same blacks that couldn't get in certain colleges, couldn't get certain jobs in the C-suite, the same ones that saw Dr. King and others bring you out of bondage, bring you out of segregation, and as soon as you got a little job, soon as you got a little house in the suburbs, soon as you got a big contract, you started calling yourself a nigger in rap records. Start calling your mama a hoe and a bee. You start worshiping graven images. You didn't want to build financial independence. You wanted to buy you a car so you could showboat in the ghetto. You forgot who brought you cross. You forgot where you come from. You forgot the God that delivered you. You're doing bling, bling in the wilderness. Talk about I'm living my best life. You ain't got no life. So now, God let Trump happen. Now, all your glamour don't mean nothing. Now, all your showboat don't mean. You can't bling bling when they got the National Guard locking you up. Your cars don't mean nothing when you're in jail. But just like when it happened with the children of Israel, Jefferson, there were some that were in there that were younger, that remembered the Exodus. And God always, Moses went on. Moses was one of the few people, if not the only one in history, we don't even know where his grave is. God said, I'll bury Moses. I've been to the Holy Land several times. There ain't no tomb for Moses. God said, I'll bury him for myself. Because Moses belonged to me. I'll do the funeral. I'll preach the eulogy. I'll do the singing. I'll bury Moses. But Moses had a youth department, had his own huddle. And one of the youth leaders was one when the 12 went to survey the promised land. Moses sent out 12. And when it come back, they all but 2 said, we can't take the land. Just like they were telling Dr. King and some of the convention, we can't end this segregation. What Martin talking about? They couldn't take the land. And one man, Caleb, said, I seen the giants. I see the strength. But we could take the land. And Caleb's little youth director, Joshua, was standing there. That's how come those of us like Jefferson and I that come in the generation after, we believe this because we were there when we saw the Red Sea. See, you guessing, but if some of us seen God bring us from the back of the bus, and I walk in the White House with a black president and a black first lady with a mama raising her black children, I know God will make a way. I've been there when we went from the drama to Obama, and I know what God can do. That's why you lost, but Joshua knew to do what he did at the Jordan because he was a youth leader at the Red Sea. So I don't know about you, but I'm on my way to the Jordan. I'm going to cross the Jordan. I went to Wall Street to let them know we won't back up. We won't give in. We won't turn around. The same God that brought us through Birmingham will bring us through Wall Street. If you're scared, sit down. If you're scared, shut up. If you're scared, get out my way. Because I know what God can do. Because he done it for me. He made a way out of no way. He opened doors that no one can open. Nobody taught me this. I saw it for myself. All you got to do is stand up and God will hold you up. Stand up, black man. Stand up, black woman. This is our time. This is our day. I remember mama had to raise my sister and I on welfare after daddy left. Welfare lady used to come by the house. In those days, they would send a welfare inspector lady by. And we We had a little apartment, 3 locks on the door, and a bar you had to slide. Y'all talk about high crime. I grew up there. And I went, unlocked the 3 locks, and moved the bar to the side and let the welfare lady in. And she walked up all through Mama's house. She got back to the front door. She said, Miss Sharpton, I don't understand how you keep the house so clean. How you keep food in the refrigerator? You sure you ain't hiding a man in here? And I got angry. I was about 11 years old. I got insulted, and my mama made me keep quiet. Lady walked out, and I looked at Mama still raging, this woman making these insults to my mother. And my mother said, don't get angry, because the woman is right. I know a man from Galilee. If you in sin, he'll set you free. I wonder, do you know him? Do you know him? He walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me that I'm his own. Do you know him? Do you know him? Do you know him? Oh yeah, y'all go down. Some of y'all here from out of town, go down 5th Avenue. They've got the Trump building down there, but who made the mountains? Who made the seas? Who made the rivers flow out? Somebody bigger. Somebody bigger than Trump. Somebody bigger than you and I. God is still on the throne. God is still on the throne.
If you want to go to heaven, let me tell you how. Keep your hands on the gospel plow. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on. Well, if that plow stays in your hand, it will lead you straight to the promised land. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on. Wrong. We stayed in the wilderness for far too long. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on. Well, there's one thing that we did right. We followed Reverend Sharpton for equal rights. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on. Y'all help me. Hold on.
Everybody's singing. Everybody's singing. Everybody's singing. Everybody's singing. Singing like you mean it. Sing it like you mean it. Want justice. We want freedom. Got to have justice. One more time, y'all. One more time, y'all. One more time, y'all. I'm gonna open the doors of the movement. There may be someone here today in auditorium that never joined National Action Network. You hear us on radio, you watch my TV show, but you never became a member of the organization. There's no greater weekend than this historic weekend for you to become a member. Whether you got dues or not, just come on down to me and shake my hand and let us sign you in to the family of the National Action Network. Come on, everybody singing. Come on. Everybody sing. Everybody singing. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. Everybody singing. Sing it like you mean it. Sing it like you mean it. Sing it like you mean it. Yeah, we want justice. Everybody sing it. One more time, y'all. One more time, y'all. One more time, y'all. All right. All right. I want y'all to know, y'all that are out of town, we are about 2.5 months away from moving to our newer building. We got a bigger space. I'm not talking about too much, but I can tell you by late fall, we'll be in a site y'all are not gonna believe. So y'all keep giving and coming. We'll be in a great national headquarters. We're gonna leave Tony here because somebody needs. Just keep that, Tony, in mind. 145th and Lenox for you. All right. I'm going to raise our offering. We're moving quickly. I know that some of us are going to the West Indian Day Parade Monday. And make sure you encourage people. When I was growing up, I've gone every year. When I was growing up, we used to want to see all of the people come down, and they still have some of the most beautiful floats. Now everybody talking about, well, how many people gonna get hurt? Y'all tell people to respect our parades. Stop disgracing us. All right, I need about 10 people. About 10 people that can give $100 or more to come quickly. I need 10 100. Guardians, $100. The mayor, Rodney Jones, $100. Reverend David Jefferson, $100. Winston Gilchrist, $100. Reverend Galbraith, $100. Men's Auxiliary, $100. The captain from Seattle, Washington, $200. Dr. Jesse Fields, $100. Sister Sekou, $100. Teresa Thompson, $150. All right. Garland Court Jr., $100. All right. Captain came all the way from Seattle and still gave $200. All right, give me some 50s, 50, 50, 50. Come on, 50. Black Excellence t-shirt, white short pants. All right. Change choir, $86. Manly, I just said it, Manley. He used to work here. Now he helped me leave here. Cleveland Manley. $50. Welcome committee, $70. Dawn Jones. Sister Minister Carolyn, $50. Come on, 50-50. 50-50. I done got more hundreds than I got 50s. I told Jefferson I got middle class folk up here. 20s, 20s, 20s. 20s. $20s. All right. All right.
No justice! No justice! 62 years ago today, Martin marched in Washington. 62 years later, the dream is not dead.
I'm here because I must be here. Democracy is not there for the pig, and you have to fight for democracy. That's what it is. What Trump will erase, we will replace.
Is the dreamers in many cases have reversed and tried to turn it into a nightmare. We come to Wall Street rather than Washington this year to let them know you can try to turn back the clock, but you can't turn back time. We gonna keep the dream alive on Wall Street.
We have a short visit today, so we just wanted to greet you all and thank you for allowing us in. Yes, sir. We would go. Yeah, we was here.
They were on the plantation.
Right, our family was on the plantation. Wow. And that's, of course, that's the slave house. That's one of the slave houses.
Sir,
it's been 13 years.
That's right.
Good to
How
see
you been?
Doing fine.
front last time. And we,
Alexander Sharpton. How many slaves were staying there?
I have no idea.
This is where they would have a slave.
Yeah, that's what, exactly. That was, exactly. The two people that most influenced my life are from South Carolina, James and Jesse. Jesse right up the road with me. I went for his mother's funeral. Jesse walked me to my mother's casket. To South Carolina. That's the balance of my life, James. Yeah. Civil rights, shoulders. But also where your people from too.
Literally.
Yeah, right.
And when I knew Jesse was from James, you know, I started president.
Yeah.
And James had died before I knew about it in South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah. James died December 25th. He died Christmas Day, 06. And they came to do the story for February of 07. They came in January. His daughter swear that was his daddy and him and pushing the information out.
Wow.
And I called Jesse and told him, do you know that my great-grandfather was a slave about 45, because Greenville right up to I-20. He said, I told you we was connected. That's why you gotta listen to me. But,